I sell a stock before the stock market crashes only to rebuy it back later when it drops? No, and here's why. My name is Kenneth and I teach my 300,000 social media followers how to trade, invest, and simplify their lives. So if any of that is interesting to you, smash that follow. First of all, you can't time the markets. When is the crash coming? Now, if you listened to a lot of these kind of not so smart finance bros last year on TikTok who were calling recession, it's coming, they sold their stocks. But the recession never came. Markets went up. And if you were influenced by them, you sold your stocks too. And you missed out on a 22% gain in the markets last year. So let's say there was a stock that you bought at $10 and it's 50 now. And everyone is screaming, recession. And you think, oh man, I'm going to sell it at 50 and I'll just buy it back later. Now, what if you sell it at 50 and the markets don't have a recession and instead the stock goes to 100? And then the recession comes 2-3 years down the road and the stock goes from 100 to 75. You should have just held your shares. Or what if the recession does come, you sell the stock at 50 and it drops to 30 and you have to buy it back at a much higher price? And because it's at a much higher price, maybe you're not comfortable buying 1 or 200 shares like you originally had. Now maybe you're only getting 5 or 10 or 25 shares. Your profit down the road is going to be likely much smaller. Should have just held your original position. Here's what I do. When I buy a stock at $10 a share, I think I'm buying this for the next 20 or 30 years. I don't care what happens next month, next year, or any time in between that 30-year goal, unless something fundamentally changes with the company where I say I no longer want this investment, or I need the money for a different investment or the purchase of a home or something like that. Here's what I do. Remember, I bought the stock at 10, it got up to 100, a recession came and now it's 75, 65, whatever. Contrary to what people have been taught about buy low, sell high, I actually like buy high, sell higher. So I have my original position at 10, now it's 65, but it was 100 and I still believe in the company. I'm going to go in and I'm going to buy more shares at a higher price. This is called averaging up instead of averaging down. I time nothing and I listen to nobody. I make my own decisions. I watch the news, I read the financial reports, and I make my own decisions. I don't rely on what some 22-year-old finance bro on TikTok has to say about the looming recession that never comes. So no, I don't try to time the markets. I don't try to rebuy things. Usually the stocks that I hold, I'm holding 10, 20, 30 years. And even if they do pull back a little, my entry point to get back in after I panic sold would be much higher. So I just prefer to hold. Smash the follow.